Yeah, Cracker Barrel gave up. They threw in the towel and just said whoops-a-daisy. I think they noticed the plummeting stock price and tried to throw the parachute on last minute here to try and save it. And actually, it is working. Their stock is rebounding after they've announced they're just going to go back to the old branding and everything, which is definitely the right call because the new logo is just more of that minimalist corpo dog shit, just personality-less, sterile, chrome garbage. I use Chrome in the way that it was used in SpongeBob, how everything's Chrome. Well, when it comes to marketing, there's been a huge push over the last few years to do everything as simply as possible and take all of the creativity and soul out of like a brand identity. I don't understand it at all, just boiling everything down to plain text. And for Cracker Barrel, it's even more incomprehensible because their old logo was kind of iconic, and the entire reason people even go to Cracker Barrel is for the sake of nostalgia. To go to something that reminds them of being a kid and driving across the country to old Meemaw's house. Like, and you get like that whole blast from the past at Cracker Barrel. And now this whole new marketing campaign was about how they're modernizing it and changing it. Like, it's super stupid. Obviously, the people that are going to Cracker Barrel probably weren't going to respond well to it. And even people that don't go there weren't going to respond well to it because no one likes to see this fucking direction that companies take now. It was a lose-lose situation across the board. I don't know how they thought they could squeak a fucking W out from their butt cheeks here with this one. And now, after everything was going tits up for them, they've just desperately said, all right, you win. We're going back to the old logo, and we're not going to be making these sweeping changes. Their original statement after the backlash was that it was a vocal minority that didn't like it, so they tried the denial approach and drank a delusion smoothie. It wasn't saving them, so now they're trying to snap back to reality and trying to paint this as like a good thing, like, we listen to you guys. We thank our guests for sharing your voices and love for Cracker Barrel. We said we would listen, and we have. Our new logo is going away. Our old timer will remain. It's like the end of a fucking MCU movie. Old timer will return. So now they're like, okay, I guess it wasn't a vocal minority. So we're going to listen to you guys, because if we don't, I think we're going to be ending up with our ass in the air getting fucked in the stock market. This now puts Cracker Barrel in an exclusive club of companies whose marketing was so bad they had to just pull the plug, get it off life support ASAP, and go backwards. This includes Coke, like with their new Coke push, an infamous marketing blunder. Also, HBO Max, where they changed to Max, but then eventually back to HBO Max. Again, I'm going to go off on a little tangent here. I really don't know what kind of scam is being run from marketing agencies on these big companies, but all power to them. They must be making so much money through coming up with the most simple, stupid ideas ever that any sensible person with half a brain would hear and be like, yeah, it's a bad idea. But somehow these marketing drones are able to convince these like fucking billionaires and like these super high upper echelon people on the food chain of massive corporations that they should completely redo everything and ruin their brand image because somehow that will make it fresh. I don't know how it's working for them. Well, I mean, it's not working for the companies, but it's working for the marketing agencies of convincing them that they need to be giving them hand over fist amount of money to do these awful changes. Again, these are changes anybody, like even someone at like a fucking elementary school would probably hear this and be like, why would Cracker Barrel do that? I don't like that. Actually, any human being would hear these changes and just they'd naturally ask the question, why? But somehow these companies don't. Like, let's talk HBO Max. You have your marketing firm that's doing all the levers and pulleys on the doodads and whatever to try and help your company grow there with the streaming platform. And then one of them says, let's change the name from HBO Max, a name everyone knows and recognizes, to just Max. Does no one ask why? Like, why would you not just follow that up with a simple question, like a simple inquiry saying, but why? Because there's nothing to gain from that. You actually gain nothing. All you do is lose people that don't know what Max is now on their fucking TVs. Like, oh, what is this program here, Max? What'd you download here? Is this some kind of porn platform? What is this garbage? Get this out of here. Like, you just lose the entire identity of it. Like, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Especially in Cracker Barrel's case. They lost like $100 million overnight, and I have to wonder how much they paid for this huge rebrand and this huge push. The whole idea of Cracker Barrel is nostalgia. And this new push was about getting rid of the nostalgia. You've done it. the marketing execs, they really do get it. That, like, these guys, they've got their finger on the pulse of what the people actually want. It's like every single marketing push from these companies is about, like, how they can completely change things and then try and, like, hypnotize people into thinking that this is a good thing. Like, yeah, you're gonna hate this, but you gotta take your medicine. You gotta swallow the pill. We know you better than you know you, and this is what you want. So it's what we're giving you. Yep. And it didn't go over well. I'm actually very surprised that they shifted course so quickly. I thought for sure they were going to ride this for a little while here and just try and brute force it. But it must have been so bad for them internally that they're like, okay, just fucking abandon it. Please, God, we have to save this now. I thought for sure they were going to stick to it for a little while to, test the waters, dip their tootsies in there before, like, fully cannonballing back into the pool of regret and, reverting everything. I thought they were going to stick the course. Because most companies do. When they spend this amount of money on this kind of push, it's very hard for them to admit fault and go backwards. So I thought they were just going to go for, brute forcing it through, like, okay, just hunker down, plant our feet, lat spread, and yeah, we might lose a little bit in the short term, but what about the potential long-term gains, which are always non-existent in a change like this? It's not like there was like a huge flood of people that were like, okay, now I can't wait to try Cracker Barrel. Now that it's gone fully minimalist and is now just another generic, sterile restaurant, I can't wait to get my teeth in there and chomp on those meals. Like, that doesn't exist. There was never that group of people. All it does, again, is just kick out the customers that went for a specific purpose of, like, that old-timey feel. But these companies don't seem to know that when they make these changes. So I thought for sure they were just going to try and get that imaginary group of people into the door, but they didn't. And they made the right call by abandoning it this quickly. It should have never even been something that had been greenlit in the first place, but at least they did act pretty quickly in reverting everything. Definitely was the right call to do that. They should have never even got this far in the first place. Maybe this will be like a lesson going forward that maybe a lot of those marketing agencies you're paying the big bucks to don't really know a fucking thing about what they're doing or what people are looking for out of your brand. I mean, I know that's kind of blasphemous to say in the corporate world, but maybe it's just a little food for thought. Oh, also, one more thing I wanted to mention. In the midst of all the Cracker Barrel hoopla, I saw some reports from employees claiming that they don't actually make the food at Cracker Barrel fresh. Like, it's not all made from scratch at some of the restaurants, which, I mean, I guess it doesn't surprise me per se, because a lot of companies make these claims about, like, how fresh the food is. We make it here. In fact, we got all the animals in the back and we go slaughter them there and make it so fucking fresh you wouldn't believe it. And it's like, yeah, that's probably not true. In Cracker Barrel's case, though, that was like a core component to their pitch on their cuisine. So if that is true, that's a damn shame. Like I said, I've never really had a problem with Cracker Barrel food. I've always enjoyed it. Every time I've gone there, it's been like good eating. I've never been disappointed or anything. But one of their big things of the new marketing push was like improving the food. So I don't know if that means that now they really are going to commit to making it all fresh from scratch at the locations or what. But I don't think all of this is going to lead to more customers going to Cracker Barrel, like a new wave of enthusiasts going there. Like, they listened, I can't wait to commit to eating at Cracker Barrel 3 times a week with my family. I don't see that happening. I think this will just be everyone going back to not eating at Cracker Barrel unless they're really feeling nostalgic or if it's something that's just really convenient on a road trip or something. I don't see this being like a huge eruption of popularity for the brand or anything, even though it did get their name out there in a big way, and I'm sure there are people that are happy that they did go back and listen to the feedback. Granted, that's not what they did. They weren't listening to the feedback. They just noticed that they were fucking floundering in the stock market. They were losing so much money. But regardless, there are people happy that they at least did go backwards. And they might try it once or twice. I just don't see it leading to like long-term explosive growth of Cracker Barrel or anything like that. Even though it is rebounding with its stock, I don't think anything's going to really change for this company going forward. Though I did mention that one of their changes in this new push that they've now abandoned that I actually thought was a really good idea that they should definitely still go through with is changing their chairs. Those chairs, they do not feel good on the old tuchus after a little while. I think changing out the chairs was a actual good idea. That is a banger. They should definitely still do that. Get rid of everything else they were proposing, except that. Get new chairs. Get some like real comfortable chairs to sit on. Because those seats they got there, yucky. They are just not comfortable. Anyway, though, I'll stop yapping about Cracker Barrel. That's really about it. See ya.